Hiya, this is the kind of content I usually put on TikTok, but I'm coming here today. Um, so I want to talk about death work and being a death worker. Like to start with, what is a death worker? And basically, the long and short of it is crossing spirits back to the other side. That is literally the long and short of it. You have to have some kind of mediumship ability in order to knowingly be a death worker, because if you don't, you're not going to know there's anyone there that needs your help. So one way of looking at it is all death workers are mediums, but not all mediums are death workers. It isn't for everyone. Pretty thankless task, really. You don't get paid for it because the people you're helping are dead. So you've got to want to do it because you want to help people. So there are like loads of different ways that you can do it. I do it one way, you might do it a different way. Both of our ways are valid. If it works and it gets the job done, then it's valid. But like when I first found out that I am a death worker, I like went into a spiral and freaked out. I heard the word death and I was like, ugh! And that was that. And honestly, it's not scary. Like, if you're considering doing death work, you already know you're a medium. There's just a couple of extra steps. So like having contact with spirits shouldn't really be anything new to you. Thing is, it can be quite traumatic, like emotionally, because you just don't know who's going to come through. You don't know when they're going to come through, because at the end of the day, would you really want to? Would you want to have that kind of control over whether someone lives or someone dies? Like, no. And you don't know how old they're going to be. You don't know how they're going to die. All you know is they're there now and they need help, and you're the person that can help them. So, what I want to really get, the point I want to stress the most is that it's okay if you're stressed out, if you're freaking out. I know I did. And another thing I want to point out is that you can decline. You can, if you do research into this, there's not a great deal of material out there, but if you do research into it, there's popular, or at least there was, creators on TikTok. I know I sometimes post this kind of content on TikTok. There's not the biggest amount of material to go up and research. I tried, believe me, I know, I tried. The closest thing I could find was like one of like, not like a midwife, but like a kind of like a midwife, or like a medical professional that's there like at the end of a person's life as they die, right? But what we do as death workers is a little bit different to that, because those people are there while the client is alive until they are no longer alive, right? That is when that person's job ends. What we do comes after, when the soul is going to pass on back to the other side, back to spirit, whatever you want to call that. Sometimes people need help with that. And that is basically what we do. Some people, they weren't expecting to find themselves no longer alive. Some people were, after long battles with terminal illnesses. It really does vary, but the most important thing to remember is you can do it. It is okay to like freak out or feel nervous. You can do it on your own if that's what you want to do. You can work with deities like Hades, Hell, Freya. Just think of any deity that's associated with a realm of some kind of either the underworld or an afterlife. Odin, even, because he presides over Valhalla. Like, literally, they're not the only deities you can work with. You can work with literally any of them. What is important is that you do what feels right for you in that moment. If you don't want to call on a deity, don't. If you do, do. They will help you. They're not going to be like, you're on your own. There's not going to be any of that. But I know it's a lot. Like the first couple of times I did it, it was a lot for me. I was like, that was a lot. But honestly, you do get used to it. I mean, I want to say much like riding a bike, but in a way, it's really absolutely nothing like riding a bike. But the more you do it, the more used to it you get. But you will still find that you will occasionally come across like a young child, for example, or someone that looks to be the same age as you, or anything. I don't know what's going to like trigger you or upset you or be traumatic for you. But I don't think it matters how long you do death work for, how many years you may have been doing it. There is always going to be, from time to time, one client or case or whatever word you want to use. There's always going to be one every now and then that's going to upset you. And I want you to know that that's okay. And you literally take all the time you need to process your feelings if you need. Okay, so with death work, we can't go and see a normal therapist, right? Because we'd be thrown into an institution and declared crazy when we know that we're not. So what I want to really do is provide you with that safe space where you can talk about your experiences, no matter what that experience may be. I've been doing this for a while now. I've got countless stories that I can tell you. But what I want to do is create a safe space for death workers, run by death workers, because we get it. We can relate. We understand. Like, I know how crazy it seems. I know how nervous you might feel. I myself have had a few cases that at the end of the day, once I'd crossed the souls over, I was really upset. And what helped me was knowing that I had friends that I could talk to that not only know about what I do, but also they do it too. So they can relate to me and where I'm coming from when I discuss these things. So that's what I want to create, a community where you can come, no matter whether you've been doing it for 10 years, you've been doing it for 6 months, you've never done it before and you're considering it. It doesn't matter what your level of experience is. You are all welcome in the community that I am trying to build. I do have a Facebook group. It is named Hades Ghostbusters, and I believe Ghostbusters is one word. The reason I call it that is because the algorithms on TikTok and Facebook don't like the word death. We're allowed to use it in a hashtag, but we're not allowed to say the word. It gets people very upset. And I work with Hades a lot, so Hades Ghostbusters. Because, well, okay, a friend and I think I called it Ghostbusters this one time as a joke, right? And it kind of stuck, because we became less and less allowed to use that word on TikTok. So there's many times where I'll be talking about it on TikTok, I'll be referring to ghostbusting. If I'm live, I will have already explained what I mean, and this is why I'm using it. If it's just a video that I've recorded, I'll be saying Ghostbusters, but I'll be going, woo, because I'll have the hashtag above me. Well, the point of this is, if this is you, I don't know why I felt guided to come to YouTube to make this video today. If this is you, go to Facebook, join the group Hades Ghostbusters. We have like a Zoom meeting a Zoom support meeting every month. You can come along, you can talk about your experiences, you can learn from me, I can learn from you, because I'm by far an expert. I don't know absolutely everything there is to know. We can learn together, we can share our experiences, and most importantly, is you can feel seen and heard and understood. And that's what I'd really like for people. So that's Hades Ghostbusters. And that's it. I think I've taken up enough of your time. Have the best day, and I hope to see you in the group. We are having our next Zoom meeting on the first Thursday of December. Have a nice day.